So guys, it's me, TitoMan64, and today we're going to be talking about a Fnaf fan game. But the difference here, it's going to be a forgotten Fnaf fan game. Yeah, I know, it's brave of me to do that. So yeah, and I have talked about a Fnaf fan game before, but it was on Roblox, and I'm not going to be playing Roblox anymore because of reasons. So without further ado, we're going to talk about Five Nights at the Krusty Krab. I almost had a Nintendo moment. But yeah, this game came out 10 years ago, and I feel like this game is forgotten and nobody remembers. I hear no one talk about the game. I hear people talk about the sequels, but not the original. So you know what? I wanted to talk about Five Nights at Krusty Krab. So if you're ready, kids, we're gonna talk about the game. Remember to sit back, relax, and to hit that like and subscribe button.
You call yourself a delivery boy? Well, I ain't buying!
So, we're gonna go over some brief history on the game. And Five Nights at Krusty Krab was made by someone named Sai Kurumi. And hopefully I got your name correct. If I didn't, then that's because I'm not really that good at pronouncing names. And they made two other games after this, being Five Nights at the Chum Bucket and Five Nights at the Krusty Krab 3. I may talk about those games one day, but probably not. And so yeah, the game released January 29th, 2015. So this game is old. It is a literal decade old, and
in some cases even considered forgotten.
In some ways you can see it, but I don't know. I think the game still kind of holds up a little tiny bit. Because let's be real, this is 2015 Fnaf fan games, and your competition was this.
Conductor, sir, stop 'em hot.
So the quality was leagues better than everything else. So yeah, that's a little bit of history on Five Nights at Krusty Krab. Now, let's talk about the story of the game.
Who wants a Krabby Patty at 3 in the morning? Oh boy, 3 a.m.
So the story of Five Nights at the Krusty Krab is told to you via phone calls and not your dreams. And it goes, Mr. Krabs opened up a new Krusty Krab, and he hired a manager for that building, and the manager hires you as the night security guard to basically make sure no one steals anything. And Krabby Patty's secret formula is safe because Mr. Krabs doesn't trust anyone. So much so, he fires his entire crew and replaces them
with
animatronic robot versions of them. And yes, even his neighbors. And I just gotta say, that is the most in-character thing for Mr. Krabs to do. Because this mother trucker is cheap. He is so cheap, in fact, he sold SpongeBob for 62 cents in an episode. Then he also defiled a man's grave for money, which is true, his words, not mine. He also tried to rip a man's arm off for 1 cent. And then probably the most evil thing Mr. Krabs has ever done, which I think should genuinely be a human rights violation, is making it how you have to pay 25 cents to use the bathroom. That is evil, like genuinely terrible. Like, that's one of the worst things you could ever do. To Mr. Krabs, using the bathroom isn't a right, it's a fudging privilege. Which, bro, I don't know how you get that greedy. That's new level of greed. But off of that side tangent, back to the main thing we were talking about, and the phone guy starts talking about how the animatronics are a bit weird, and they start staring off into space, and that they're weirdly violent. And literally on, I think, night 5, the dude straight up says they chased him up the stairs into the office, and he had to close both doors. And then he tells you that you can't do that because you're on a limited supply of power, meaning you're fudged. And then on the literal next night, night 6, he starts talking about about these like safety papers, and how basically they say, if you're in the building, leave immediately. The animatronics are going rogue, or someone hacked into them, probably Plankton. And if you're left in the building overnight, you're fudged because they're coming for the secret formula and you, rip bozo. know, and that's pretty much what he says. This is just a abbreviated version, but at the end of that night, apparently, this is like from the next game, this like basically ends the story. The animatronics burn down the building, take the formula, and kidnap you.
And then,
Take you to the chum bucket. So, yeah, that's 5 Nights at the Krusty Krab store. It's pretty funny because I can genuinely see that being an episode of SpongeBob because of just how stupid it is and how kind of believable of Mr. Krabs do literally fire his entire staff and replace them with animatronics and then Plankton hacking them to steal the formula. I can genuinely see that. So, yeah, that is the story of the game. It's quite funny. Let's move on to the gameplay of the game. And now for the gameplay of 5 Nights at Krusty Krabs. It's just like any run-of-the-mill FNAF fan game where you have your left door and your right door. They have a button to close the door and to open it, and they have a button to turn on lights and to turn off lights. If you see the SpongeBob at your right door and Patrick at your left door, close the door so they can't get in, and if they go away, open it again. Squidward, you have to use the flashlight on him and he will go away after you flash him probably a million times. Another thing is the flashlight does use battery power from your power system, same with the doors. And then you have Sandy, which Sandy, she will go into the, what's that called? She'll try to go into the fuel room to fudge around with the wires and make your doors not work. And so you have to shut the door to the fuel room before she can get in, and she won't get in. And then you have Mr. Krabs, which I don't know how he works because it's never explained to you. Like, not at all. There's no indications of him at your door. I don't know if he's like really like far away from your door and you can see him, because I was not able to see him. You have the problem where he just aimlessly roams around the building and then just like you don't know where he's going. He doesn't even work like Freddy from FNAF 1, and you can't even camera stall him, so like that kind of sucks. And so like you don't know really what to do. I died to him once, but I didn't even know what I was doing. I don't know if I left the door open for too long and he was there. The game just didn't have any indications of where he was. And then Sandy has another mechanic that's kind of similar to that, but I argue it's even worse. It just makes the game on fun. Is that she'll show up at your door, but she'll never ever leave. So you could either shut the door so she can't get in and use up a bunch of power, or leave your door open and get the chance that she'll kill you and keep flashing the light, which I don't know if that works because the game doesn't tell you how she works. You're just supposed to guess and hope that you don't die, because again, she never leaves no matter how long you leave the door open and closed, or no matter how many times you flash her. She just doesn't leave. And also you're just left with hearing the electrical noise that when the animatronics get close play, and it just kind of sucks and gets annoying. And then also another problem I have with this game is that I feel like some things aren't really the best quality, where sometimes the door button will break and it will just stay green and you can't close it. That happened to me once. And then also the other time was that the door button got reversed, where it would be red when closed and green when open, when it's usually supposed to be red open and then green closed. And then also one time the flashlight just would not turn off, and that was like really weird. But other than that, the game doesn't really have too many other issues other than the mechanics not really being explained to you. And yeah, I didn't even beat the game because of that reason. And like, I don't think it's that bad. This is a FNAF fan game. At max, this was probably made by like one person. So like, I'm not expecting the most high quality AAA game, but it's still just like awesome that the game even still exists. Because a lot of FNAF fan games from around the same time are lost media. They just don't work. And at the time, this game was probably still pretty good. And so yeah, how do I feel about the gameplay? I think it's just, at best, it's entertaining. At worst, it's boring and Also, I think that the ambience of the game is kind of creepy. At times that got me kind of a little bit scared, but that got mostly fizzled out when the mechanics went unexplained and I couldn't beat it. But hey, this was an early FNAF fan game, and like the mechanics weren't gonna get really too crazy till like later on in the landscape of FNAF fan games. And so yeah, that's the gameplay of Five Nights at Krusty Krabs.
You activated Archimedes?
You what?
So now, in conclusion, is this game good or is it bad? No, I think it's actually okay. I think it's an okay FNAF fan game. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's just kind of mid. And at the time, it was probably really good, but now it's kind of just a little bit basic. And I think that's one of the reasons why this game kind of got forgot, because it's just like not really that like inventive. It didn't reinvent the wheel. It kind of just did stuff that other FNAF fan games did at the time. But is that a bad thing? No, I think what it did, it was still okay at it. Not the best, because there are literally some mechanics that go unexplained.
But I don't blame the person who made the game
For not being able to explain most of the mechanics. This is probably an oversight, or I'm just stupid. So yeah, overall at the time, I think it was still pretty good for its time, being 2015, and your competition was really fudging low. The bar was good and can jump over, because a lot of the games were either not released or they were just asset flips of the first FNAF game. And that's kind of just it. And at that time, the pinnacle of FNAF fan gaming was Five Nights at Candy's. And Five Nights at Candy's was the most FNAF game of FNAF fan games. That may sound like it doesn't make any sense, but it does. And also, this game was one of the earliest 3D FNAF fan games, and for that, I just gotta give it a thumbs up for that. And now, for the funniest thing about this game is that it was actually officially acknowledged by Viacom and Nickelodeon twice. And you know why I say that? Because there was an episode where Mr. Krabs made a frozen Krabby Patty, and it was selling like hotcakes, and so he fired his entire staff and replaced them with animatronic versions of them. Oh my fudging gosh, there's literally just Five Nights at the Krusty Krab. I literally can't believe that they literally did that. It's like the most insane thing I've ever seen. And you may be like, that's just a coincidence. No, because it happened again. Because there's a video on the official SpongeBob SquarePants channel called Five Nights at Krusty Krabs, and it's a FNAF styled video where it shows scenes, but it has like the camera filter and it has the thing from FNAF where you select the cameras. They literally acknowledge the fact that that game exists, and it's hilarious. It's so funny. I've never seen a FNAF fan game off of a popular franchise that was officially acknowledged. Not in a good way, because they either got taken down because the people who made them kind of sucked. Because I don't see Chuck E. Cheese acknowledging Five Nights at Chuck E. Cheese, or the people who make Thomas the Tank Engine acknowledging Five Nights at Thomas the Tank Engine. It's just kind of funny. I find that very funny. So yeah, remember, never forget who is there for you, even at your lowest. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. If you want to see more videos like this, in the comments below. Thanks for your support like always. This was your host, TaquitoMan64. See you all in the next one. Goodbye.